Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Whazhatt. Today we're going to be taking a look at Concrete Jungle by Coal Powered. This is a preview version of the game, as the game is currently not available for purchase. At the time of recording, it is still running a few days in Kickstarter if you want to get in early over there, and it has been Steam greenlit, so it should be showing up on Steam soon. But the game is actually really interesting at this point. It is technically a city builder, but it plays more like a card or board game. The best way is to show you, so let's get into it. You can configure your deck right from the beginning. I've messed with it a bit, so this is a bit different than the default, not too far off. I just wanted to experiment with some of the different starting cards here. As you might expect, you got residential, commercial, industry, and some government buildings like parks. So let's see how that actually works in the game. I've gone through the tutorial and I've played a bunch of the normal mode. This is actually really addicting, despite the fact that it's fairly simplistic in its implementation, which is part of the reason it's addictive. Anyways, the goal is to clear this level of the, I don't know, board, you might call it. Kind of like Tetris. You want to clear a line. And the way you do that is you bring up the points here up to your target, which is currently 3 at the beginning. So the way I can do that is something like, well, houses are what you actually need to upgrade. I don't know what you really call this. This is your current target. It's just your target number. I kind of wish this had a name, but it's our target points. We'll just call it points. There are a lot of other buildings that don't actually adjust your points. For example, the brewery here has +2 to the yellow thing and +2 to the red thing. What that means is that you have these bars here, and so this is going to add +2 to my target bar. Once this hits 70, it's going to go up to 4 that I need to clear column, and then this is called, what is this called? I don't know, deck points I'm going to call them. And this is going to add 2 points out of my 5, and I believe once this hits, I'm not too sure how this works, but once this bar fills or something like that, I get a point in here and I get to upgrade my deck eventually. Anyways, we'll see where that goes. So I'll plop a brewery down. I'm just going to put it over here somewhere to save some space where I'm actually working right now. A green is a good one. You can just read the subtext here. +1 to selected adjacent tile. So I can plop it down here, and I can add +1 to anything around it. This won't do too much for me right now. I'm trying to clear this tile, so I might as well add it to these houses. Now, supermarket is an interesting one. It's very powerful because it has 3 bonuses and 3 negatives. So if I place this down like here, it'll add +1 to the house as well as 2 tiles next to it. And of course, it's going to subtract farther up the board there. So if I place any houses there, it's going to be detrimental to me. And because it's powerful, it's also got some negative connotations to it, such as increasing my target progress faster, which I don't really want. I'd like to keep this as low as possible to make it easier to get points. Anyways, I'll plop this down, say here for now, just an example. And we'll throw down another green. Now you can see, you can actually sort of do like zoning connections here. I'm not too sure what this does, if this gets bonus points or anything, but it highlights the green. I'll connect it together and I'll drop it on this house. So we have 3 on that one building, which clears that row, fades away. And then we have a nice little park here that all join together. Something I can do, I think it's this button, is I can toggle this on to see what the previous tiles I have. I'll just leave it off for now to make it really clear, but I like to actually leave it on so you can sort of see where... I think the bonuses will always carry through. So if I clear this row, these negative ones should still persist. And but I'll turn it off for now just to make things really obvious. So I have more houses. So I wouldn't want to put them here. Actually, I will put it here to show you. -1. So it's going to be harder to get anything out of this column. So if I want to bump this up, I can use something like the garage, which has sort of a balanced mixture, so you don't get a lot of either towards your deck or your point goal, which makes it kind of a strategic piece. It's a nice one to have. These negative points are actually, I wouldn't say useful, but they're not too bad because you can always place other buildings on there that don't get affected. For example, I don't have a good example yet. I'll just place a house, say, over here since we have a +1. We'll get to that later. Here, at the market. If I place this in the -1, it's not going to do anything to my score because it's not a scoring building, just the residential buildings get the scoring. But it is going to upgrade the points on this particular spot, bring it up to 1 now. Got shops, I might as well put it over here. And a factory. Now, you'd think, why would you want to put this? It's just all negative points. Well, the big thing is it has a big bonus to your card score, which will help me get my deck grow. Which will help me grow my deck later on. And again, we can see that this building gets highlighted in orange here, so I guess I get like sort of an industry zone. I don't really know what that does exactly. I imagine it gives you bonus points, probably when I clear this row. I think that's something that needs to be maybe cleared up in later versions of the game and show you exactly what's going on. But it's pretty interesting. In the same manner, I can create residential neighborhoods. You can see that it highlights here. Again, I don't know what kind of points that does, but they can be really useful later on in the game. It also looks cool the way things all get connected together. And yeah, of course, there's zoom as well. But yeah, residential neighborhoods, once you connect them together, it's a way you can actually adjust buildings that you can't build directly next to, because there are tiles that will affect entire neighborhoods. Hopefully I can show you that if I don't mess up this first game. Anyways, let's keep rolling along here. I have more houses, so sure, we'll put it here to build a neighborhood in case I need it later. A green, I'll put it on this -1 tile here, and actually it would have been nice to put it, it doesn't really matter. I'll connect it to here, get a 2 on there. A garage, let's put it over here, maybe? And some more houses, farther up the line. Brewery, I got a lot of breweries in my deck because it's just really good to build my deck, and they don't have any effects around them, so I can always just plop it in some negative tile that I want to get rid of. Supermarket. These ones are useful but dangerous because they help farther down what you need, but then it'll hurt you later on once you're trying to fill up these other tiles. I tend to keep, the way I've been sort of playing is keeping sort of industry buildings on the right side here, and then residential buildings kind of up on the left or the middle. But I will place this, oh, I don't know, I'll just put it over here and deal with it later. Not always a good idea. So green, let's just go ahead and clear this row. I'll do it over here. Now something you have to be careful with, oh, I'm still trying to clear this row. I did not even notice. Okay, so we need some houses down here. Anyways, as I was saying, you need to be careful that a lot of these tiles are simply adjacent, and then you're trying to build, you know, farther up to affect the buildings on the current row. But you got to be careful is that when you're doing that, you can easily fill up the next row. For example, this is already up to 3 points because I've been working on it with these buildings, but that row itself is at 0. So if I keep working on this row, which happens more and more later on as you need more points to clear that row, you're going to fill up this row without putting any houses down, and then you completely mess up that row. I might do that later just to show you how this all works. Actually, it'll probably happen anyways. So let's just keep moving on here. Shops, I'll drop that down here. This row's already up at 3, so that'll clear as soon as this one clears, assuming I don't upgrade my point target too soon. More houses, plop those down. Over there, it'll give us 2 points. A green. Let's put this over here, maybe? Sure, why not? And then we'll upgrade this to 2. Factory, we'll drop this over here since I think this is nice and safe. Expanding our industrial zone there. I believe these zones, or I think as they're called in the game, neighborhoods, can only be 4 large before they get capped out. You can't expand them anymore. Supermarket. Now, I'm stuck either... Oh, actually, no, this works fine. I was going to say I'd have to build a house over here, but because the supermarket, the way it's set up, I can actually put this right here. Clear that. And I think I get a combo here, an extra bonus 200 points. And now we're over here where I have to build some houses, but it's all negatives. So, this is already at 3. So I can put some negatives... Oh, actually, no, that's not good. I was going to say I can put some negatives in this row, but I need to put this here. Okay, let's Let's keep moving this down. So this is something funny, is that if I put a supermarket here, negatives all those points, I can put one here and just kind of keep pushing back those negatives, putting them somewhere else. So I'll grab a green. I think I'll work on this tile right now. So I'll drop this here. No, I'm gonna have to do better than that. So let's put, oh, see, I can't put this here, else I'll remove these. Brewery. Let's drop that down. Okay, I'll get the house here at least. House. A little glitchy. So I'll have to work these tiles. I'll have to get them back out of the negatives. I can put a house there. And now I think I might be kind of stuck if I'm not careful, because I don't have any buildings that help me. What I should have done is actually put some... no. I think this row might be stuck already. I'll keep working on it, see if I can get anywhere, but I think even if I go like this, yeah, that clears that negative, but now I'm stuck. So what I'm going to do before I waste anything else is I'm just going to hit this button, which basically forces myself to lose a life. You have 3 lives, but it allows me to clear that... Oh, I guess I have to fill the row first. I might as well drop a factory then. There we go, now it starts flashing. The row's filled. I can't do anything to affect it at this point, so I'm just going to clear it. I'll lose a life. Moving the next one, study 3, that gets cleared out. Apparently I get a bonus for that, I imagine. I don't know if that should really exist, because I cleared that row sort of by losing a life, not really proper means. But whatever. So we already have 1 point on this row. So I have to carefully choose where I want to put my next house, or actually, if I could get this market here, I can bump this up by 1, get 1 over here. So I'll put this house here. I'll move this house, I don't know, over here. Let's just start building another neighborhood. And this market will work perfectly right there. Clear that row. And now I just need to grow this row a little bit, which should be pretty easy with, say, this guy. And we already have +1 here. So I can put a house directly there. Let's just keep doing this at the supermarket. I don't know if this is a good idea, because I might as well not be putting the building down, right? Other than maybe adjusting my cards here, but I think I'm probably getting more negatives towards my point progression than I'm actually helping the game here. So I might actually want to pull supermarkets out of my deck later on, since I'm realizing that I don't really want to use them. There is another building, I think it's called a car dealership, which is basically opposite. These would be negatives, and these would be positives. I think that might actually be more useful to me, because I can actually figure out where to get my negatives placed down, and then have positives later on. Because some of the issues I always run into is having, like I was saying, I end up filling up these next 2 rows too much. But if I have something that puts a lot down on the next row, it might help me plan ahead a little bit more. Anyways, green, we will apply that, let's say here, because this building doesn't have any points awarded to it. Brewery will just plop down somewhere that's going to be negative. Let's say here. Let's just start filling these up, so I don't have to put another supermarket there to clear it. Another green. Yeah, let's grow this. I'm going to pretend that gives me extra points. I haven't figured out if it has. House here will give us 2. And now we just have a bunch of houses to put down. We might as well put in there, get 3. And if I drop a house here and then put a shop here, that gets us 3. Clear these 2 rows. And I think we're getting close to... Oh, okay, so... Yeah, I still don't quite understand when I get to purchase cards. Because I think I get... Because it says 3 out of 5. I guess I have to fill this column 5 times? So... I'm not too sure. Okay, let's see here. We got a factory. If I put this down here, this is a +3. So it brings it up. So that fills it. Now I've got 6. But I don't know when I actually get to build a deck. Maybe it's when this upgrades? We'll see. I'll keep an eye on it. I played this a bunch, but I just kind of went on autopilot. I haven't actually really been paying attention to how the mechanics for deck building work. So this is a garage. Let's use up this -2 and you'll get a bonus here. We'll lose the bonus on that side, but we're hiding both the negatives off the board and on this building. Another supermarket. Yeah, I don't really like these. Let's do this here, maybe. And a green. We can expand this. Maybe I'll tuck a house in over here. Brewery that can get rid of the -2. Connect those together. There's 2 breweries. Another green. Let's bump this tile up to 2. Oh, see, now we just gone up to 4. Now it's going to be harder to clear this row. Market. I'm going to put this... Oh. No good place for this. I lose all those bonuses. I mean, here would give me 2 and take away 1, but then I lose the one up top. It is connecting to these. I lose this one. I think I need to put it, say, here to help me build this row, and then I can use all 3 points. Something like a garage might be better for this spot. Because I do need 4 across here, and I've only got these spaces to work with. Supermarket? Actually, this wouldn't be too bad. It'll give me +1 here and a negative. We'll just clear that tile flat there. Did I use something to push this up already? Are those shops? I don't remember. There is a cursor mode here that I imagine, well, the quick tool says you can use the cursor mode to look at building info. It doesn't do anything right now, but I imagine later on I'll be able to hover over this building and see where the bonuses are being applied and what the type of building it is, but right now I don't actually remember where this bonus is coming from. I think it's here. Okay, so we've already got 2 points, so we only need a couple points here. Shops would work well there. And if I put like a garage here, then I'm only left with these 2 tiles. Okay, I'm gonna push this up. Oh boy, I don't know why this is getting so tough all of a sudden. I want to upgrade my deck. I need new cards. Let's put this here. Supermarket. Oh god. Let's put it here. I'm gonna drop a house in here and here. And hopefully I can eventually upgrade these buildings. House. House. Market? Oh, I can't use that yet. I can only choose between these 2 cards. Garage. Let's put this here. See, now I have an issue, so how am I going to upgrade these buildings as well? I only have 3 out of the 4 points, even if I fill those with houses. And I'm likely going to need to put something here, like this green. Okay, well, let's just keep going along. I'll put a factory down, say, here. And I imagine as soon as I clear this row, I'll get an upgrade to my deck. But I wish that as soon as you hit that level, whatever you need to actually upgrade your deck, that it would just happen instantly, because I always need those cards like as soon as the column target goes up. And I keep getting stuck with these damn supermarkets. Let's put this here. I don't even know what this next row is going to look like. A market. This will actually give me 5 points if I put it here. I don't see what else I can do, though. I mean, I might as well actually use a green here, because the market would probably be better used farther up. So let's put this here. We'll make this a +1. Get 4 points, and now I have no... Oh, there we go. Deck building time. So yeah, I imagine the deck building is initiated once you hit your next column target level. And the number of cards you get is based off of this number here, because now I have 8 buys. So, this looks like a nice building, lots of green. It really adds to my column target. I don't like that idea. This is interesting. I think this is like farmland style zoning, which works similar to residential, but you can have much larger neighborhoods. I don't think there's a limit on the size of the neighborhoods. I might grab some of these just to show you. Bus station is definitely something I want because it adds +1 to any tile that you can, well, any tile on the board actually, which I often need because, as we see, and I tend to fill up these tiles. Community garden, really nice, adds +1 to extend neighborhood size, +1 to selected adjacent tile. Actually, no, that's not what I want. There's another building, I think it's called the community center, that adds +1 to all the buildings inside of a neighborhood. This I'm not too, I don't quite understand what extend neighborhood size means. It probably just connects to the neighborhood. Let's grab this anyways. Let's just see how it works. Chemical plant. I actually like this building because it really adds to your deck, and it doesn't have a lot of negative for increasing your target goal. There is a lot of detrimental space around it. No one wants to live near it, but if you put it on the edge of the board, it's actually fairly easy to place. The fire station, I keep wanting to say fire street. The fire station is actually really useful because it adds pluses to everything along that entire column. Renovation is the one I'm going to be taking though, because it allows me to just simply upgrade any tile. Although now that I also have a bus stop option, I might want to use this instead because it has a lower score addition. I'm going to go with the renovation because I'm going to have trouble with tiles and I don't want to fill them up. Another bus station. How many do I have left? 5? Okay, I'll grab the bus station while it's there. I would like to grab a chemical plant. Community garden. We already have one of those. Strip mall. Basic piece. Might be useful. I think I'll grab this too. Park Square, obviously useful. Although not actually as useful as it looks because you tend to lose a lot of these spaces because you can't always you can't have houses around the entire thing. And it also adds a lot to your column score there. Let's start grabbing things like this. Farmhouse. I think this is the actual. It's like a house, but it's a different zone. And then we'll click on the pasture because I'm going to experiment with this a bit. There we go. Community center. This is what I really want. +1 to select adjacent neighborhood. I think it adds 1 to every building in the neighborhood, which can be useful to affect houses that are farther down that you can't actually build next to directly. And then 3 extra houses have been added to my deck for balance. So we now have 23 cards. Let us continue. I think this is one of the bigger decks I've had this early in the game. So, we might actually be able to clear this row if we get enough bus stops popping up and we don't fill up everything else on the board. This is already at 3. This might actually be pretty easy to upgrade. So if I'll put a green over here, because I can affect this tile here. I'll place a market. This tile is going to be actually really tough to upgrade. I might sacrifice this 2 just to upgrade this 1 tile, because we're really going to need to pump that tile. And I should be able to affect these tiles a bit more later on. I could do this as well. This needs to be up to 4 though, so I probably need a house here. Brewery? Let's just put that right up here. Houses. Okay, well, we might as well start putting these here. There's no way to... Oh. If I didn't build this park here, I would have been able to build a bit of a neighborhood here too that I could potentially affect. But let's just do this. Shops. Let's definitely put this here. Another house. Another house. Might as well get that there. A garage. Let's put this here. I don't know if you can hear in the background. Oh, I think I didn't put that right. There's some just general, no, city noise, and then people talking. And there's one guy that says, "I'm very disruptive." And I find it very disruptive. So he's not wrong. I just kind of wonder why it's there, because I find it particularly annoying. I imagine later on the game will actually have music and some better background noise. Again, this is all very early. It's basically a prototype I'm playing here. Let me actually focus on the game though, because I'm going to really mess this up if I'm not careful. And the more I mess around here, the more I'm actually increasing this. And I've had it where like, oh, okay, I'm all set up to have like a bonus of like 4, 4, 4. But then this gets upgraded to 5, and I've completely messed up the entire game. Okay, I need to put this market down somewhere. I have no houses in this row. I'm gonna do the sacrifice. Try this here. I really need a bus stop. Renovation will work too. Shops. I can't place yet. So house. I obviously need something here. It's gonna be really hard to upgrade. I might have to lose this entire row. Shops, shops, shops. This row is going to be hard to upgrade. Let's put it here. And then we'll use our renovation on this. So we can clear this row. Clear this row. Get a little bit of a bonus. And we'll start building some houses on this row. Now I'm going to turn on this to actually show this is what the rest of our city looks like. It's a bit of a mess. I almost don't like looking at this because it's like, oh, there's all these empty lots. I wanted to fill it in nicely and have everything, all the parks lined up, but that's not quite how the game works. Also, for the other buttons up here, we have a night mode that will be coming later, which you can turn on to have a different sort of look of the game. I don't think it actually changes the gameplay at all. We can look at the card database eventually, see all the cards that are in the game. Open the in-game menu, just some basic settings here. And like I said before, we have the cursor mode, and then we can lose our life, which I don't want to do yet because I think I can still save this with a few bus stations and renovations. We have a bus station down here. It'll be tough, though. I think it'd be really cool to have some tiles that had a larger... like it would do like 2 spaces away. I don't know if that would be too much to fit on a card to show it, and maybe too complex for the game. I mean, I kind of like that it's simple and there aren't too many weird cards. I mean, in a way, the bus station does that. I can upgrade any tile from a distance. But I think it'd also be interesting if you had a piece that basically, like, the building's here, and then 2 spaces away you had a bonus over here, because I always need one. Like, right here would be useful. So I can upgrade this tile. I constantly need a tile like that. That's why I've been grabbing all these bus stations. Anyways, let's get a factory down. We'll put it over here in this mess of a row. That's turning out very negative. We got a supermarket. We'll clear this out. Unnegatify it. We'll grab a green. And I'm going to need 4 in this. We're almost going to have 5 soon. If I put it here, I can bump up this one, but I don't know how I'm going to adjust this. So what I'll do is actually I'll put it here, and I'll connect it over here. Community gardens coming up. Again, I don't quite know how this works. Extend neighborhood size plus 1 adjacent tile. I think all it does is kind of like a green, in that you choose a tile to give +1 to, and then you get a little bit of a bonus for the larger neighborhood, or it allows you to have sort of a split neighborhood with like a green in the middle without having all the houses connected. Anyways, we'll try it when we get there. Bus station. Let's put this down in the -2. I'm going to affect this row here. And I don't actually even have a neighborhood to put this next to. Strip mall. Right, this was a basic tile that we put in. Let's do something like this. No, I don't like this. Oh, deck building time. I have no idea when this comes up, but I didn't clear a row either. That's weird. Anyways, farmhouse, pasture. Well, I have 1 farmhouse. It kind of would be useless not to have a few more. Coal power plant. This is an interesting building. No adjustments to your points up here. +3 to advancement threshold. So I don't quite understand why this is in the text down here, when it would basically be saying the same as +3 to your advancement threshold. I think that's advancement threshold. I think that's what this is, isn't it? Add a waste card to your deck. No. It must be a bonus, because why would you put this down? So I think it adds 3 to your deck here. I'm honestly not too sure. And add a waste card to your deck. A waste card... let's just grab this so I can show you how it works. I'm going to grab Fire Station because these are really cool. That'll probably actually help me a lot. Chemical Plant would be cool too, but let's grab this. Oh yeah, and one extra house. I only had a couple decks, or a couple cards to buy. I was hoping for more. Okay, community gardening, extend neighborhood. I don't have a neighborhood to extend. Blah. Let's just put it here and over here. +1. Farmhouse, pasture. Okay, let's see how these work. If I put this here, it's like a normal house, but I can also add a pasture to create a larger neighborhood. But I don't really know why I would want to do that. I'm sure it'll get explained later on. Community center, +1 to adjacent neighborhood. Now, this is actually what I really want. This is not a neighborhood yet, though. So let's drop a house here, make it a neighborhood. Oh, why is this not +1 to... Maybe I have to choose the neighborhood? Because I want to say... Actually, okay, first, this is 1-1. +1 to select... Yeah, okay. If I connect this, these become 2-2. Yes. And then if I put a house here, it's also part of this neighborhood, so this would normally be a 2. Oh, let's put it over here. This would normally be a 1, but if I place it, it becomes a 2. Okay, so this building I really like. I wish I could get a lot more of those. You do have to be a bit more careful about your house placement, and that they do create neighborhoods. So this should actually become a 3. That gives us a 5. I don't know if you get bonus points for going over the score. I think you do. Actually, I think I remember in the tutorials it's saying it did. Okay, so these 2 rows are nicely set up, as long as we don't hit 5 anytime soon. But I'm going to have an issue with this row. I'll put the green here and bump up this tile. It gives us 4. Brewery will drop in this -1 over here. Houses, I'll put it there, and ooh. Oh, this community garden, right? Okay, yeah, because this creates a neighborhood. So let's see if that creates, like, if I can make a bigger neighborhood or something. Because maybe I can put down 5 connected houses now. A green. I'm running out of space here. I really need a bus stop or something to clear this, which will clear these 2 rows and give me a whole bunch more room. Renovation, that'll work. As long as I don't hit 5 first. Let's choose things that don't give as much. Oh, actually, wait. I have a bus station right here. I'm so silly. Yeah, let's just drop that down. Wow, I don't even know. Here. And then we want to upgrade this. Cleared. Bonus 200. Bonus 800. Yeah, and we got a whole bunch of new tiles to build on. It's actually working out really well. So green. Oh man, these tiles are going to be hard to clear, and we might hit 5 before I can do it. This is not part of a neighborhood. I might just sacrifice this row, but it might not be necessary. This will definitely help. Or will it? Yeah, no, let's do this. Do a green. So this row has 1 house. I might be able to adjust it, but I have a feeling that I'm just going to have to lose that row. And then if we drop a house here, we get 4. And now we might be stuck. I could put shops here, which will upgrade this by 1. I could put a supermarket here. Yeah, let's do that. factory. I'll just drop this over here somewhere. Okay, yeah, we hit 5. This isn't good. So I don't want to put anything here because I want to use that. Oh boy. Bus station. Let's do a bus station. Put it over here. I'm not going to hit 5 with this row. No way. No way. Let's just work on this. And I don't think I can put any buildings that'll reach that far, right? Yeah, no. Because the only thing I can put is here and here. Okay, so I've got 3, 4... Okay, this row is actually already good. Let's fill that row up first before I clear this one so I can at least get my bonus. I'll start working on this row. There's a lot of negatives here. I might actually just start clearing up some of these negatives and be like, bam. Farmhouse, collect points. Yeah, let's put it here. Sure. Pasture. So, hopefully by Oh. How did that happen? Okay. Yeah, it said +1 in the neighborhood, right? Oh, yeah, +1 in the neighborhood. Okay, yeah, it's the same thing like a community center. It gives +1 to the whole neighborhood. I just sort of assumed it meant +1 to neighborhood size. Okay, that's actually great. Yeah, let's start moving towards farmland. Well, community centers work too. Actually, I've got one coming up here. So if I put... Oh, I don't have any houses down. Oh, wait. Oh, yes. It's not good enough, but... see, what I was thinking is... This is a... I'll do it anyways. I'm going to put this here. And if I put the community center here, that's actually going to be a waste. But I kind of want to show some of the interesting mechanics. This row is full. The only way I can adjust this building is by putting a community center here and adjusting this community. Now it's up to 2. But it's still nowhere near enough to actually clear that row. And that was actually a waste because this row already had more than enough to grow. But just wanted to show that. Houses... might as well put one there, get some bonus. Ooh, fire station. That would definitely work very well on this row to get rid of all these negatives. Let's actually put on top of the negatives so I can get a +1 there. And let's put a house here. Oh wait, that's a community garden. +1. Extend neighborhood size +1 adjacent tile. Okay, yeah, this is different. And this is a neighborhood, but this is a farming neighborhood, which is different than this is a green tile, which is just residential. Let's actually start like a new neighborhood up here or something. Extend neighborhood side +1 adjacent tile. Let's just go like this. I'll put a house here. And a garage. Here? I don't know if I should work on this neighborhood. 3, 4. I think we can clear this row nicely. So let's try this. And this is a coal power plant. Right, I forgot about this thing. I don't really have an industrial area set up. I'm just going to try to tuck it in the corner here and hope for the best. And +3 advancement threshold. So let's watch our points here. We got 1 out of 6 and 14 out of 70. If I put this... How many... Wait, what? I don't quite understand what happened here. So it filled in this part that's flashing. Yeah, I don't quite understand how that works. Anyways, we'll see what happens when we get a... What was it called? A waste card? Shops. Let's upgrade... Not upgrade, but at least neutralize this tile. Although that would No, because this is part of the neighborhood here. You can tell because of where the roads lay. So there's no road between these tiles. So that's part of the same neighborhood. So yeah, I'll neutralize that tile. I'll grab a green. And 3, 4. So that was not really necessary. If I actually no, yeah, that was unnecessary. If I'm gonna put a green here, and I don't have to see any other way I can affect the tile. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna grab. Oh, this is gonna be tough. Might as well do this to get that up to 3. A little bit of a waste. Put a house here. That brings that up to 5. And I might still be able to get this upgraded if I get another pasture that shows up. Or a bus station would work. Or renovation. Let's do renovation here. 3. Let's drop a house here as part of a neighborhood. Put a bus station. Do you think I should work on this row or just clear it? I think it's worth clearing. I mean, it'll be like essentially our last life. The next time we hit this button, it'll be game over. I'm going to put it. I want to see what cards are coming up next, because if I can get another pasture, then I can bump this up. But it's still going to bring it to 4 out of 5. So yeah, I'm going to use the bus station on this building. Let's put it like here. And we want to upgrade this, because I'm still going to need to put a pasture down to get this up to 5. I'm also going to clear this now to see if I can get any deck building or something, because again, I don't know when that shows up. But not yet, apparently. A green to adjacent tile. I don't know, over here. I gotta start building more points farther up, because I keep running into this point where I've already used up the whole thing without planning ahead. We'll extend this neighborhood. So yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the community pasture. So I'll have to see if I can put another house on here to make this an even larger neighborhood. I probably should have put this over here to help this row, but whatever. Market. This would be useful very much so right here. And yeah, okay, so now I can put 5 houses on this neighborhood. And see if we can even make it 6. Supermarket. Sure. No. Only 5. So it only adds it by 1. This column's gonna have some issues. Let's start another little neighborhood here. Actually, I probably should even put this over here. Farmhouse. Okay, farmhouse would go really well there. I'm gonna put this house up here. Start working with farmhouses and pastures. Yeah. If I get a farmhouse here and a pasture, that'll actually help a lot of stuff. Factory, tuck it in over here, connect it to our power plant. And we got a new card. Farmhouse, definitely here. Oh no! That's not part of the same neighborhood. I thought this would all connect. No. I guess that counts as a full neighborhood because it has 4 pieces? I'm not happy about that. I guess that's what I need. There's another card that says +1 the neighborhood size. I'm not sure if that would help me too much though, because I need a house and a pasture. Anyways, let's get this brewery down and put it in this tile. I might as well put this here and hopefully I can grow this a little bit. Actually, let's put it over here on this negative. Start another neighborhood. I don't have enough farm cards to really work that. I'll have to grab a bunch next time I buy, even though it's only 3 cards. Okay, let's put a house here. So I'm gonna have to find another way to upgrade this. I might be able to use this community center. I might be able to. I'm also gonna have issue with this tile, but not if I do this. bus station here. You can take the bus all the way over here, so people can get to their coal power plant and work. Community center. I think this works for all types. This is going to be +1 to the entire neighborhood. So that's going to add, to make this 5, it's going to add this to make it 6, and then this will get up to 2. That's already 5. So hopefully, I wish it would actually like highlight the whole neighborhood to show exactly what it is, but it should be these 2 buildings. Yay! Oh, because yeah, I don't have any more clear rows. The next time I push this button, it's game over, so I might as well not push that button and just get as many buildings down as I can. So, I think we might be a little stuck with this. A community center would do amazing work for this. Is that actually all? No, this is, okay, this is a neighborhood here, and this is just 4 buildings here, but still, very, very useful. By the way this works is you use up your entire deck, and then once the deck is gone, it gets reshuffled. So I've played 4 cards, and then there's still 18 in my deck. I don't quite understand how that works, because there's always showing which cards come next. I think it'd be more interesting if once you get close to the end of your deck, it doesn't show the next cards, and until it actually gets reshuffled. Basically, once you use the last 2, maybe? Anyways, let's put a garage down. That's a dumb idea. Here. Yeah, let's put it there. Another coal power plant. I was gonna say I'm not gonna put that, but I have to eventually, unless I don't want to never want to use this card slot. So I'm gonna pop this down over here. I still don't quite understand what it does. There's nothing changed up here. +1 to adjacent tile. Well, I could put that here with the hopes that I eventually get a community center, which would make it 2, 4, 5. So that would fix this if I put it over here. So I have to remember to keep this space clear for a long time. And this row should be fairly easy to clear. So let's try to fix this with some bus stations and whatnot. Green into here. There's our waste card. There's no graphics yet. I could put some houses here with the hopes that I can also affect it later on, because I don't see a pasture would also work there to bump this up to 3. So I might hold on to that, because I can always put a house there later. They always pop up. Let's just drop some houses down in those spots. -2, clear that. Get 4 cards eventually. Strip mall. Let's clean this up a little bit. Oh, yay! Again, I have no idea when that happens. Maybe it's when I hit some sort of point threshold. Community center. I definitely want another community center. A barn would also be nice. That extends the neighborhood size. That's the issue I was having trouble with before. That's actually the card I needed. But community center is much better because it can affect any type of neighborhood. Brewery, chemical plant. Extend neighborhood size, collect points. Okay, let's get a barn then. And we'll get a farmhouse, because this is the actual thing that makes the points, which will be useful. Problem with that is having too many houses and farmhouses isn't too good, because you could fill up an entire row with houses and you not get any points. +1 the neighborhood. Let's do this. Oh, other cards. I gotta keep attention to exactly how many cards I have available. Okay, where are we here? 5,880 points. I think I might be getting close to my best. I think I have around 6,000. Actually, I might be past my best already. Might be like 3,000. Anyways, house here. Waste cards. So this is obviously bad because it lowers your deck points and adds more to the your target. But I think this might be a bug, because it doesn't have any effect on the tile it's on, and then there's no building there. I think this card's not finished, but right now I can use it to clear a negative tile. throw some waste down. Hey, now it's a perfectly clean lot. I imagine in the future it'll take up space and or maybe just make a negative on the tile itself. I think that'd be the best way to do it, is just lower the points on that tile, so no building gets placed down, it just lowers the points. But for now, I've got to deal with this factory, which I will put in here. The other voice that happens in the background is someone saying, "Hey, Dave." I'm very glad my name isn't Dave, because I would get incredibly annoyed every time he said that. Houses, houses. Is this a neighborhood I can expand on? Yes. So a community center would work great there. I really want more community centers. +1 to adjacent tile. Let's put this here and drop it there, and eventually I'll get a house there. Some shops. Put this here. I'll start working on that tile. I'm really reliant on... Oh, I messed this up, didn't I? Because I can't connect a community center to this now, unless I put it here.
I keep doing that.
I remember I can't put anything here, but I've just blocked off this neighborhood. So again, I can't put anything there. I might as well put a house here. I really messed up this whole row though. Market. Okay, well I'll put this here. So now I'm gonna need to pump up these tiles. Oh yeah, we got a -2. I might as well. Might as well. And fire station. Yeah, that'll work well. Nope, wait. I can't put anything there. Think ahead. Community garden. Not what I want. Let's put this... Oh, that one brings that up to 4. Shouldn't be too hard to upgrade it. No, that only brings... Why did I say 4? It only adds 1. Oh boy. Supermarket. Sure. Sure. Why not? +1 to selected adjacent tile and expand. Yeah, I might as well use this here. Build a neighborhood up there later on. A bus station and a renovation. Okay, so now we got some decision making to make. We've got to make a decision. This tile, or this row, is completely messed up. I can still put a house here, and I can affect buildings with these. I guess it doesn't really matter, because there's no point putting anything here, because I'll have to pump it up anyways, but I might as well pump up this building. So let's just use both of these. I can get this up to 4, but we're about to break the threshold on 6. So at this point I would normally say, oh, let's just clear this row and move on. But again, as soon as I hit this button, it is game over. So let's do what we can. I might as well put the bus station in this row, because putting a house here won't help. Wait, no, putting a pasture would help bump this up. That's why I'm keeping this clear. So let's drop this bus station way up here, even though it's going to take up some room on this row, which is already a bunch of negatives there. And we'll renovate it, and I don't see a pasture coming up anytime soon. Community center would also work, but I definitely want to use that over here. Anyways, houses. Where am I going to put houses? Here? This is horrible. Oh well. We don't have much option. This is going to have to get bumped up eventually too. Nah, now we're at 6. Great. I could put a farmhouse here. I don't think... Wait, no, we got a pasture here, which adds +1 to the neighborhood, right? So if I put this here, it should end up being a 1, which will give us a 5. Yes! But we need 6, of course. Okay. Let's use a fire station. Oh, we don't have it yet. A green. Oh, if I put this here, I'm going to destroy this row. I'm going to do it anyways. Fire station here. It'll bump that up to 5 at least. I need much better cards to work at the 6th level. The 6th target. But I don't get cards fast enough. So I think the game needs a bit of balancing. This would actually work pretty well. But it won't clear this row. I need... Yes. No. Community... Oh, I want the community center. Well, I think I'm messed up anyways. I only got one spot to put a building. It's not going to help me clear anything. Yeah, I messed this up. A pasture... A pasture would have only given me 5 anyways. Yeah, okay, so 5 is what I wanted, but now we're on 6. So yeah, this is the end of the game. I might as well drop a supermarket here. And that's it. There's no more room to build. So there's our city. Very packed up here. There's our suburbs. Some nice parks and factories. And then we got a bunch of like shopping malls, some more parks, some markets. I mean, it's sort of a weird farmland area with distribution centers or something. I forget what these are. And then some larger buildings. We never had any like commercial like what are they called? Office buildings. I think they give you a whole bunch of points without too many detrimental effects. And we never really figured out what these coal power plants do. I think they're not quite done, as we can see with the waste, the way it clears things. So the last thing I can do is hit this and say, your time is up as mayor. Our final score is 5,880. My personal best is 8,600, so not even close. Okay, well, it's done. Let's take a quick look at what else there is in here. There is normal mode, which what we were just playing, which is based off of your starting configuration deck. And there's actually classic mode, very similar to Mega City, which is the developer's previous game, which is similar to what we're playing here, but I think it was all sort of flat and 2D top view. But deck building is removed, so I imagine you have the full deck to play with. And then the versus mode, which isn't implemented yet, against an AI or other player. That'd be really cool. I don't know how that would work. It might be like Tetris, where you have like the 2 columns, and then as you get points, you can like throw things into the other person's, I guess, city in this case. I'm going to quickly jump over to class mode, see what we get as we just kind of finish up here. Throw some houses down, a farmhouse. I imagine you can build much bigger farms in this mode because these cars will pop up more often, but you also have to deal with chemical plants and power stations, which is interesting. Like, I might never get a power station on purpose in the deck building game, but they're always going to be popping up here. But yeah, I think it's a good point to wrap up this video. Thanks for everyone who watched, and if you enjoy videos like this, please consider subscribing to my channel, and I will see you all next time. Take care.